Usually this report would appear spoken at the AGM and then in print in the annual newsletter. This year, along with many things, it's a bit different. But the first part of it is normal, a look back on our achievements before things went crazy. It seems an age ago, but the 2019 summer concert needs an enthusiastic mention. You will remember we did a selection of folk songs in a St Mary's Newark lunchtime concert. It's great to take part in these. It is our second time, and Stephen Bullimore always makes us very welcome. And of course these performances cost us nothing, which added to the pleasure. This was of course our last concert with Ed Turner as accompanist. Michael has become so much part of the furniture in the nicest possible way that it seems odd that Ed was with us only just over a year ago. It was an enjoyable programme and well performed, though members' opinions varied about the inclusion of the African pieces from Alex Lestrange's Zimbe. Then came the autumn concert entitled Joyful Baroque, which was excellent. The soloists were all regulars, Ellie Martin singing with us for the first time, though we know her well as a conductor, and then our former bursary winner Emily Hodkinson, and Matthew Keithley and Stephen Cooper, both making their third appearance with us. The programme was quite special to me because the Buxtehude Magnificat and the Purcell Ode were both in the first concert I conducted in Cambridge. Indeed, the Buxtehude was the first piece in that first concert. The Vivaldi, as always, was a joy, but of particular interest to me was Handel's O Praise the Lord with One Consent. I've had a copy of this for 40 years, but had never looked at it or even heard it. But because it had exactly the same orchestra as the rest of the programme, I had a look. And it was a really good piece. The choir acquitted itself very well in this lovely programme, and we were once again lucky to have such an able and friendly orchestra fixed by Juliet Ward. As always, the Christmas concert was great fun to rehearse and to perform, and it was good to have my friend Ben Mills playing the organ. Then, of course, we made a great start on the Brahms Requiem and the Schicksalslied, and were well on our way to having them ready for an excellent concert when COVID struck. I hope that once we're out of this, that Mansfield will be able to reschedule that concert, and that our 10 weeks of hard work will not be wasted. But of course, at this stage, we do not know when choral concerts will be possible again, and even when there are, there will be a glut of people needing the Minster and only so many Saturdays, so we'll have to see what happens. Similarly, we were due to perform a joint concert with Southwell Choral, initially planned to be the B minor, then changed to the Verdi Requiem, and then cancelled. What will happen about rescheduling this I don't know, though of course Southwell performs every term in the Minster and have advanced bookings made several years ahead, so they'll possibly find it easier to reschedule than Mansfield will. So, of course, the future is very uncertain, and we must keep our fingers crossed for the development of a treatment and a vaccine, and indeed for adequate research into the risks of passing the virus through singing. I have been very fired up by the idea of working together towards a CD recording, and it'll be great if we can find a venue willing to house us at some point, even if the project is shelved for the moment. The idea was to programme about 10 choir carols with piano and another 5 with brass, with the brass group providing 2 or 3 pieces as well. A friend of the choir, Robert Palmer, is already in line to set a brass group up if we can make the project happen one day. It would have been a good experience and a good Christmas present, and so still hope that we may be able to do it sometime. I've really enjoyed working on BBC Bingham and I'm looking forward to creating more programmes in the future. It would be great to get feedback about things you've particularly enjoyed and also any ideas for things you would like to see done that we haven't done yet, serious or just entertaining. We'll need ideas from September. Our Jubilee Prom concert, which you've heard a lot about in BBC Bingham, is scheduled for November 2021, and we hope that by then concerts will be possible. The programme for that will include Elgar's The Music Makers and my new folk song sequence, as well as a plethora of short pieces by Bainton, Handel, Bizet, Bernstein, Elgar, Parry, etc. With us and Mansfield Choral and the Nottingham Symphony Orchestra, and no doubt a full house, this will be a very exciting programme to look forward to. Meanwhile, we'll be having the distance learning sessions on my folk song sequence, and looking forward to this. This will be launched through BBC Bingham on August the 5th, and Brad, Michael and I have been working on the content for it with help from some singer friends, including Ellie Martin. You will have materials to help you learn the folk song sequence at home. You will have the music. Folk song sequence is not particularly hard. And you will also have access to music and help for learning some of the smaller pieces for the Jubilee concert. That way, we'll be working towards something tangible. As always, I'd like to express my thanks to the choir's very efficient committee and programme committee, and of course to Michael as our excellent accompanist. I wish I could play the piano like that. It has been a very strange time, but the albeit virtual community of Bingham Choral has been an important part of my staying sane during lockdown.